Welcome, travelers, to my realm of nightmares. Allow me to be your personal assistant. Come in, take a seat, get comfortable. For when you step into my realm, there's no stepping out.
Hello, travelers. PA Nightmares here. I've noticed that over 30% of my viewers are not subscribed to the channel. So, if you're a new or a returning viewer and you haven't subscribed to the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button. And if you like what I do, liking the video and commenting as well, as it really helps push this video into the algorithm and it really does help the channel grow. Well, I've taken enough of your time. On to the main event. The storm raged outside as I entered the old man's house. He was asleep, and the power to the entire town had been knocked out due to the storm. Over the wind that howled, no one heard the sound of the door opening and closing. I silently crept up the stairs, making sure not to cause any unnecessary noise. Getting to his room, I loomed over him. I quickly wrapped my hands around his throat, crushing his windpipe before he knew what hit him. I was careful to give the old man a quick death. I may be a killer, but I'm not a monster. In fact, I consider myself more of a mercy killer. The ones I kill leave the misery of this world. I picked up the old man's body with great care. I carried him down the stairs and propped him up against the door. I grabbed the tools I had stored in the old man's house when I was here earlier that day. I mean, no one ever questions the plumber when they are needed the most. The storms always give me the best means of infiltrating my victim's home. After getting my supplies, I plant the stake in the yard. Then I take the old man and stand him up with the stakes. Then I take wires with meat hooks on the other end, placing them into his arms to hold them out. I tie his legs, torso, and head to the stake. Once I was sure he was firmly secured, I placed the snow around his waist, torso, and head, rounding them the best I could. I mean, it never looks exact, but it's close enough. After I finish sculpting the snowman, I take a moment to admire my work. It looks so beautiful. Then I clean up my materials, wipe down the crime scene, and leave. The next day, after the snow is over, John exits his house to start shoveling his driveway. Huh, that's weird. Who the hell would have built a snowman in Frank's yard? John walks over to investigate, examining the snowman. As he drew closer, he noticed the snow had a red tint to it. He got up close to the snowman and brushed the snow off its head a bit. It exposed Frank's dead face. His eyes were wide open. John called the cops and explained what had happened. After he told them what he knew, John heard one of the officers saying, "The snowman builder has been at it again." Moonlight shines upon the deserted sidewalks. A thin blanket of snow glistens underneath the street lamp as snowflakes fall from the gray clouds in the sky. The small neighborhood is eerily silent. However, there is someone lurking within the shadows. Footprints are the only thing that the figure leaves behind. Christmas Eve, the special night itself, being traditional for many decades, families gathering around the fireplace to watch their special movies and genuinely enjoy the company of one another. There are festive decorations strung up on each house in the neighborhood that glimmer against the beautiful white snow. A pair of gloved hands carefully place a neatly wrapped present upon each doorstep before hurrying down the stairs and towards the end of the street. The figure watches as porch lights turn on, front doors are opened, and the presents are brought into the house by either parents or children. A wicked smile spreads across the lips of the unknown figure. When one of the houses ignite in a brilliant orange light, the other houses soon following in the same explosion. The figure, excited at what has just happened, walks among the wreckage, meticulously looking at the damage that has been done. Blood, intestines, and brain matter all lie on several different pieces of furniture. Parts of the walls that once stood upright and different body parts lay scattered in weird positions, causing the figure's heart to beat faster. Every glance at a newly dead person gives the figure more of a thrill and adrenaline rush throughout the figure's veins as they continue to wander around the wreckage. 3 weeks to prepare 14 bombs. The figure wickedly says, "Damn, it was well worth it." The sounds of sirens wailing in the distance causes the figure to quickly scurry for the mess that they had created. Red and blue flashing lights replace the ones that the festive Christmas decorations illuminated as the police officers, firemen, and paramedics swarm the scene. 4 neighborhoods in 5 days. This has to be a record, a man angrily sighs. "Sir, do you want this on the 6 o'clock news like last time?" a woman politely inquires. "Deputy Channing, please make sure this doesn't enter the hands of the press. It's bad enough that we have a serial killer on the loose. I don't need the townsfolk to know we have a serial arsonist, too." "As you wish, Sheriff." The deputy nods. Deputy Channing quickly hurries around the scene, directing people on what to do when the news vans show up. She raises her hand to see extremely familiar faces in the crowd, one that they have been investigating for the past 3 weeks. Sheriff Collins hurries over to the crowd nearby, neighbors and news crew. He strictly tells them that there is nothing to see here and to move away from the active crime scene, yet he is unsuccessful. However, he sees a few familiar figures within the crowd and makes a mental note to further investigate when he arrives back at the police station. The town of Snow Creek had suffered a serial killer over 35 years ago. They are witnessing a second coming of that now. Now, they are seeing the damage that can be done by a serial arsonist. When the hell will all the blood and carnage stop? What the hell is happening? A familiar voice shouts. Sheriff Collins looks up from the ground to see Dimitri Jenkins standing just beyond the caution tape. Lucas waves Dimitri over and gravely looks him in the eye. "I don't know what the fuck's happening at the moment, but I need your help. Will you come out of retirement long enough to assist?" Lucas asks. I don't want to risk my life a second time, but if helping you means all this madness stops, then I will," Dimitri agrees. "Okay, we have a serial killer on the loose, and now a serial arsonist," Lucas quietly explains. "I don't know if the two are connected, but there are 3 people here we have been investigating for the last 2 months. I'm not so certain that it isn't a coincidence." "Alright, tell me where to start." "I need you to gather as much evidence from the crime scene as possible and meet me at my house. You know where I live, right?" "Yeah, Luke, I know. I'll meet you there in about an hour." Sheriff Collins departs from the crime scene rather quickly, catching the attention of young Damian Turner. Damian quickly follows the sheriff from the scene to the police station, and then to his house, where he sits outside and awaits the arrival of former police deputy Dimitri Jenkins. I would like to thank tonight's author or authors for allowing me to use their works. If you enjoyed this, the authors' links will be in the description below. Please check them out and let them know PA sent you. Also, if you like to walk around representing my realm and gaining Myuu travelers, the links to my merch store, my website, and all my other social medias will be in the description below. As always, I'd like to say a special thank you to all my lovely Patreons. All of their names will appear on screen. I'll make sure to put all their links in the description below so you guys can check them out as well if you'd like.
But as always, travelers, once you step into my realm, there's no stepping out.